Hello everyone, welcome along to PSGL for the last race, sadly for us, of the Esports Cup 2020 here on F1 2019. It is Ryan Six at Brazil, I'm in Comfort Owen White, with me is Austin. Surely S2V can't come back now, can they?
I mean, there's always a possibility until it's mathematically decided, and it's not fully mathematically decided just yet. In fact, CRG still have a slim hope as well. But, yeah, I mean, practically, you're gonna have to say there's really not much of a chance. 41 points, the gap that VSR now has to S2V, and a whole 50 points, the gap to CRG. And if you know, some of our viewers are wondering right now, well, 50 points, that's more than the 44 you get from first and second and the fastest lap. You got to remember, we have a different point system here. 30 points for the winner, 25 for second, so that's 55 points plus the fastest lap. 56 at most on offer. But that really also means that VSR only need 6 points to make sure that CRG can't get them, and they need 15 points to win the whole thing, no matter what S2V and CRG are doing.
Do you know, I'd love to see a cheeky Brazil 2007 here, where the outsider just comes in at the last second. You'd have thought, there's no chance, and I'll win it because it all goes wrong at the top. Because I'd like to see it get closed down at least. I don't want to be sitting here halfway through the race thinking, oh, this is already won, absolutely guaranteed to be a victory right now. I want us to go right to the last lap. I mean, we saw last week in USA that S2V had a shocking qualifying, and it effectively destroyed any chances of them having a good race. And Brazil, I don't think it's as strict with its track limits, but you just never know around here. I mean, look at the people who are leaving the pits already. You could get caught in traffic quite quickly. This is extremely hectic, doesn't it? Look like they're really trying to get 4 runs, and you can just about manage it here. And they're all going to certainly go as quickly as they can to do it. This will be quite an action-packed start here.
Yeah, I think you can pretty easily manage 4 runs and, you know, still have a little bit of time in between. Because we do have, obviously, 18 minutes in the whole session. And a lap around here is just about a minute and 10, a minute 11 in the race. And obviously in the qualifying, we're talking, what, a minute 7, minute 6, I think, in that region.
Maybe not
is
sixes.
Where we're headed. Minute 6s.
Halfway through... mid to low 7s, I think. I'd be very surprised if we get 6s, but then again, we managed it in Canada, didn't we? So
you got to remember, we got the best of the best here. Like, this isn't just your ordinary old league race. This is the best of the best. I mean, look at the lineup we have here for the final race. Danny, Liam, we got Louis, we got Jordan Polska, we have Sparks, Blizzard, Onyx, Jonathan Surface, Casper. I mean, this is the who's who of PS4 F1 2019 and probably 2020 as well, league racing. So if anyone can do 106s around here, it's these guys.
well, let's hope we can see something like that. We've got Blizzard, the first man, out on track. He and his teammate Sparks are the same as they were last week in the USA. Only other team that was staying the same are BDG with Louis and Jonathan. Everyone else has made at least 1 or 2 more changes. And you can see them all there. We're not going to go through it because it always takes so long. And really, I don't think anyone cares, frankly. So we'll just follow it around. The big thing you need to know, VSR still have Casper and STV still have Danny. So they're big hitters here once again. I'm pretty sure that means they've been here for every single race this season.
Yep.
Looking to close out the championship. And yeah, we'll see how they get on. Now, we're going to see such team up the hill today. Should be pretty effective. It's actually... in one of the best straights in F1 or longest stretches, you get the highest speeds apart from maybe 1 or 2 tracks at the end of this main straight. You wouldn't think it, but it absolutely, once you get to the end of it, hit great speed. So you seriously need that slipstream today.
Definitely. I unfortunately this time around, I don't know how long that bit of acceleration zone, let's call it, is, because it's really not as straight. I mean, on the official track guide, it's 3 corners. Turn 12 is the last one where you really have to brake for, Jung Sao, and then 13, 14, 15 is all up the hill and onto the start-finish straight. But yeah, it is a very long acceleration zone, and it really helps if you do have some slipstream and you do get pulled along and gain some more speed and some more time.
So Danny currently fastest. He had teammates from his teammate Liam. I can't believe this. This is the last time we'll see a silver Mercedes for a while as well, isn't it? I can't believe how good the new Mercedes looks. The black one, we haven't seen it. Fantastic.
I was surprised. Oh, and I was surprised that your tier list on Twitter that you still only put it in like the second highest tier. I'm quite shocked because the moment I saw it, I was like, that might very well be the best looking livery in F1 history, because it's an absolute banger.
You'll always say it. Oh, new livery, shock surprise. I have to like it.
No.
Listen, this will be like AlphaTauri, I think. You'll still like it, but you're not going to like it as much as you saw it on day one.
No, I mean, when I looked at, you can only speak for yourself, and I can only speak for myself. I didn't like AlphaTauri that much.
I actually did.
White and black. I do like my F1 cars with at least a bit of colour. And I think they've struck a very, very good compromise at Mercedes with the sort of teal, whatever that colour is called.
It always changes as well. It's difficult to keep track of it.
Yeah, but I gotta say, I really, really like that livery. It looks really beautiful. And yeah, most liveries I'm like, yeah, okay, makes sense. You know, you look at Williams, you see another toothpaste.
I never quite got the toothpaste motif of that one. It was more just really bad graffiti I got from it, from this one. Thank goodness this is the last time I have to see this one as well. New one looks so much better.
No, the new one also looks like toothpaste.
It doesn't. Nah, it's not toothpaste.
Yes,
Come on,
it does.
We're just taking the mick with that now. It just isn't.
But let's agree to disagree here.
Yeah.
But back to the qualifying. Yeah, so as we mentioned earlier, you can get up to 4 runs in. 1:07 right now, the lap times, meaning out lap, hot lap, in lap. What's that going to be? Around 3:30. Obviously, you're going to take it a little slower on both in and out lap. Plus, some service on the car, pushing it back into the garage, then getting it back out. Let's make it 4 minutes, 4.5, 4.5 times 4. Owen, math genius, is exactly 18, which is the exact time we have here. So you can pretty much get the whole 4 attempts in, and you can't forget. Obviously, on the 4th stint, on the 4th attempt, you don't need to count, or you don't need the out lap. The in lap rather. You don't need the in lap to be within the 18 minutes. In fact, you don't even need most of the flying lap within the 18 minutes. You just need to start it before the clock hits 0. So 4 attempts can very easily be managed in these 18 minutes around here. Obviously, on other tracks like Spa, like Azerbaijan, like Singapore, that's very different. But around here, very easy. And I don't think I've seen a single car on softs. So I'm pretty sure on mediums rather. So I'm pretty sure they've all gone for the softer tyre distribution, which means 4 sets of softs right now here for qualifying.
Well,
and then
actually,
another. Yeah?
This could mean 2 things. It could mean it could be wet in the race. You always see someone go for this. I can't get this out of my head. Someone must be thinking rain right now. I always want to say that's exciting. I always say that rain's terrible right here, but not a single one on mediums, as you point out. I can get what you mean with them going with a softer option, but all of them?
I mean, maybe they're just not using the mediums. The unfortunate thing is that we can't see which tire distribution they went for, which really is a shame. I would love to see that, because I think it's information that obviously the real life commentators have whenever the teams hit the track. They know how many sets the teams have available of softs, mediums and hards respectively. So I wish we could see that as well as commentators, but it is the way it is. Let's hope it's going to find its way into F1 2020 somehow. It's only a week and a bit until that hits, but yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure. We might see rain at the start of the race. We might not. That's really.
I'm going to do some research.
Anyone's guess.
I'll get some information.
You're asking someone?
I'll ask the F1 chat, because I've got plenty of drivers, so I'm sure one of them will be wanting to let us know. Maybe we're just being hopeful, or maybe I'm being hopeful, hoping that they'll say no. But yeah, certainly no one is messing about with a strategy anyway, because I mean, I guess I can understand why I'm not going to go medium to soft or
we
something.
already have information. It's a dry race.
Yeah, well, okay, fair enough. That'll bring me on to my point then. I guess it is a pretty simple soft to medium, so you can always argue, what's the point? What's the point starting on mediums?
And even more so, even if you don't go, or well, no, even if you want to be prepared for everything, let's say, that could happen in the race, you don't really need much more than one set of the mediums and one set of the hards to be covered for everything that the race might throw at you in terms of safety car periods, potential, wing damage, wing changes early on. It really, that's really all you need. So it really doesn't make much sense to go for the balanced or even the harder distribution.
One thing I'm noticing with these slipstreams that these guys are doing is that it's pretty much compromising one driver's run per round. I'm noticing because they're having to do it on the main straights, and there's nowhere for the other car that's just giving you slipstream to jump ahead of you to give you slipstream. If that makes any sense. So yeah, you're really having to work this out. I'm just wondering to see their last runs. Since you have a little bit more wiggle room, I wonder if some people will inevitably try doing two separate runs in the same run, if you get what I mean. We'll see what they can do. Is Danny goes fastest without slipstream, as far as I was aware there. Or maybe he didn't. I'm not too sure actually. I didn't see the full thing, but either way he's fastest by a 10th.
Yeah, I think that's what we use to call a banker lap. But I gotta say, provisional pole position is a pretty good banker lap right there. There goes Liam. Who put himself up there? But Jonathan, I think, moved himself up to 5th. For some reason, it looked like someone put himself up into the top 3 there, but maybe that's just me being blind. There's a reason I wear glasses, by the way. But Jonathan moves up to P5. Onyx is coming towards the line. Does not have any slipstream. No, he goes into the pits. Never mind. 7 minutes left. What are we going to see here in terms of teamwork? Are VSR and S2V going to prioritize their quote-unquote number one drivers in Danny and Casper, or are they going to try to fit both drivers in with Onyx and Liam Parnell respectively?
There'll be a way to get them both in, I'm sure. I mean, at this point, you could just wait a minute and go out and do your separate slipstreams now, because you've got 6.5 minutes left. You want to really mess about in all the traffic that you'd end up getting, because if you're going to try to do 2 runs at this point, I worry you would get quite a lot of that at this point, and it'd almost certainly go wrong. Then again, we'll turn around and say these are the best in the world, so maybe I doubt them a little bit. But I'm sure they can probably just let both drivers have it. Certainly Casper needs it. He's 15th right now.
Yeah, it had a massive slide out of Jungsal there as well. My goodness, he was probably around 50 degrees sideways. Jesus.
That won't help us.
Did he still improve? Yes, he did. Wow. Wow, how much time did he lose there? That could have been a much better lap if he does not that slide on out of the final real corner out of turn 12 there. Jeez, that could have been easily P3, if not P2. Maybe, I don't think 2.5. I don't think he gained. He lost that much, but a 10th.5 he certainly lost from that.
I tell you what, FV are having a bit of a shocker right now, aren't they? They're down in 18th and 20th. They've had a decent run recently and currently running right at the back. We'll see if they can get themselves up any further in the remaining 5 minutes. Also, CRG 11th and 16th, not the best run for them either. So there is certainly a lot that's going to happen at the end of this qualifying session. And again, this is one of those issues as Hardware goes P15. The slipstream, sorry. The tracks being so short, meaning that again you have to be inch perfect to get this right, and some are clearly struggling a bit more than others.
Yeah, this is a 4.309 kilometer short track, 9 meters shorter than Austria was. So this is the shortest track on our 6-race calendar. And you see that the lap time's barely over a minute 7, minute and 8 down there with M&T William, but really minute 7 for most drivers. And That's really it right there. If you make one mistake, you see the gaps. I mean, minute 7.4.
What on earth has happened here? So I thought I was seeing things. There was a 3-car pile-up up there. I think they were all letting people through, but the 2 Ferraris had come together and that. And then there was a Red Bull stuck there of Juggler. What on earth? I thought that was a glitch or something. I thought my internet was about to go. No, those 3 just casually parking it. They were getting out of the way of Surface and others, I think. Speaking of which, he's coming to the line now, Surface, looking to try and replace his teammate in P3 as Louis goes fastest, and well, it's P4 for VRT Surface, but yeah, Louis fastest. But that was very odd at the top of the hill. That could have ended so badly wrong.
Yeah, and that's the other challenge around a track this short with only 4.3 kilometers. Imagine having 20 cars on track at the same time. That means every car has around a space of 215 meters, which isn't really that much in F1 terms. I mean, if you consider, accelerating and braking, and obviously cars getting closer and further away, it can get very, very close at times, and I think that's what we saw there. But now we have a little bit of a calm before the storm situation with 3 minutes 15. Everyone's trying to make it into the pits. Do we have anyone who's actually trying? We have Frederick in P17, who is on a hot lap. Gil in P11, Sparks in 12th. They're trying, and I think that's about it. And, oh no, Danny.
Well, he's done an out lap right now, but
yeah, he's going to start one now.
And there's his teammate coming out of the pits. I'm pointing at the map as if I'm able to show you. I can't, but I'm pointing at it anyway. And you can see his teammate there at the bottom of the screen is coming out of the pits as well, so you'll see how that one works. That should give them enough time to do another slow lap. And there's, again, Slipstream for Blizzard. Again, they'll have time to do a slow lap and prepare this as Sparks goes P3. Presumably Blizzard will now just take another right lap, right? Or surely you can do that and just take the Slipstream. I mean, the sauce will still last with one extra lap. Surely if I was him, I'd slow down here, because you're 18th, man.
Yeah, I don't really understand that sort of strategy here from Blizzard, but maybe he feels like he had a good run out of the final corner.
I don't think that's a good idea, though. I mean, you've got time. Use it. Make sure you're in a position to start the next lap strong.
Yeah, understandable, and I'm with you on that, but just to play devil's advocate for a second, if you do get a good run maybe through the center S, you don't want to throw that away and hope for maybe you get the same or an even better run, and then through the rest of the lap don't make any mistakes, and then also get the slipstream. So Blizzard is maybe just choosing his battle here and being like, you know what, I got a good run through the center S, I'm gonna try and bring this home and get a good result here on this lap, and let's see what it's gonna be. A 1 minute 7.5. There you go, see? P5 with absolutely no slipstream right there.
Well, that just tells you could have got P3 with slipstream there, and then you've got a minute left. His teammates put it in the pit lane.
But you would have pushed down your teammate, so
tough luck. You get the higher average. Just get 3 and 4 rather than 3 and 5. No.
But at the end of the day, I don't think he's going to be too sad about it. It splits the VRT drivers there of Jordan Polska and Surface, and I mean, it's.
Look at this, by the way. Casper's only P11. He's out of laps. He's done. So that is hairy for him. That's not good. And Onyx, I assume, is already taking his slipstream on this lap. Well, do you know what I was saying about having a shocker in qualifying? This could be that right now, as Liam was P7.
For VSR to really get into trouble, we need a S2V12, which Liam Parnell is quite a bit away from right now. Daddy's there, obviously, but Liam Parnell is a little bit further away. And at this point, if this is how we were to finish with the S2V guys in 1 and 7, we would be talking about 44 points, which means just one of the VSR drivers really has to finish, and that's going to be the 3 points there, or 4 points they need. Oh no, really 3 points they need to actually clinch the title.
Okay, Honest
so P18 would be enough.
7, so 7th and 12th right now, and Jonathan just started his lap. He got one of the last across the line. I think Jordan as well, and Louis as well on that. So both VDG drivers taking laps of out slipstream on their own at the very end. Someone's just gone up the leaderboard there. Waters, there you go. That's more like for FV. Up there in P8. Hadler down in 17th, mind you, but still.
Someone has crashed, I think.
Someone is off in Narnia. I might have just been a car's retired. I think that might be Truesdale's
could
car,
be.
actually. And Louis abandoned the lap. He's abandoned the lap because he's invalidated it, so that will mean Jonathan will get some crucial slipstream here. And, well, with VRT all the way out there, they wouldn't mind getting a bit higher up the grid, both of them. Obviously, Louis in P2 with Jonathan 12th with the VRT boys in 4 and 6. That might well be one of their main competitors tonight, I guess. So we'll see where Jonathan goes with this lap. You can see the slipstream there with Louis. Will be very handy to the line, that. He might
took a little bit for
He's
Jonathan.
He's going to derate, just like USA. And that might well have cost him against Surface, like it cost him Paul last week. Not as big, but again, he's going to stop with that derating, man.
Yeah, and Jonathan as well was a little slow to open the DRS. And once we look at the gaps between the cars, and we see that Jonathan was really only 18 milliseconds away from Surface, opening that DRS just about a second later than it was activated, or maybe 8/10 or so. That may have cost them those 18 thousandths of a second and cost him P6 and a starting spot on the 3rd row. Instead it's the 4th row for him. But overall, BDG with a very strong showing here, P2 and P7. S2V 1 and 10. Liam Parnell just staying inside the top 10. And CRG 3 and 5, probably the best team result apart from BDG. VRT 4 and 6. You wouldn't think that they're 7th in the standings from that qualifying result, would you?
Well, that and last week as well, of course. They finished 2nd, didn't they, last week? They got within a couple of tenths of the victory as well. So, I mean, they've really picked up 4 recently. They've got quite a big points deficit to the P6, actually. I think it's like something 25, 26 points. But, I mean, you never know with Brazil. Thank goodness it's dry. That's all I'm happy about, because, like I say,
we
wet races
already knew about that.
I know. I'm just reiterating. That means we'll get proper racing, actually, rather than... Listen, if you want to see what wet Brazil's like, go watch the F1 race that I commented on a few weeks back. It's dreadful. Odem's
we know by now.
Odem's new. He didn't even bother showing up for it. He left me on my own for that one. That's why we fired him.
Oh wow. we know by now how much you hate the rain, Owen. We get it. By the way, Owen, how was the Race of Champions?
Finished 11th. Do you know, I had a few accidents, but it was actually really good fun. Genuinely, very, very fun race because it was dry, you see, and obviously when it doesn't, when it's dry,
that's really the only factor for you to ever determine whether a race is good or bad. Was it dry? It's good. Was it raining? It's bad. Come on, Owen.
Well, fun. Actually, my best F3 races were the wet ones, but in terms of full enjoyment of 100% races around Germany, that was my favourite one. Even though I had various accidents, I had a much worse finish. It was a fun race. Right.
You still hate me for that, don't you?
I do.
For the rain.
I do. Right, can we look at the tyres? Because I'm seeing that ECD outside the top 10 are the only drivers in general outside the top 10 to not go for the mediums. They're sticking with their softs. Rest on mediums.
What I find surprising here is that IGK, ECDF1, Williams, and MNT all had the choice and the chance to go for split strategies to avoid sort of, pit lane kerfuffles, let's say. None of them did. ECD fully on soft, and the other teams I mentioned, IGK, Williams, and MNT, both on mediums, both drivers each. So I really don't understand that. If I was, in charge at one of those teams, which I've been told repeatedly I'm not, but I would have told them, one of you onto the softs, one of you onto the mediums. You make up who's who, but split strategies. I'm a big fan of that because it just removes this whole, let's pit at the same time, and oh no, I have to stay out one more lap.
Well, I have got to say, actually, I actually do agree with them being on mediums, because I remember in the F3 race, a laggy person had a horrendous qualifying, and he ended up coming on mediums to softs, and then he was absolutely rapid at the end. He ended up in like the top 5, having started in, bottom 10, and it worked out very well for him. It put me under a lot of pressure in the challenge as well, so no. But certainly, I can see why they've done that. But I don't quite actually get why ECD have done what they're doing, but I guess we'll see how it all pans out. That must be one of the shortest forming laps or formation laps I've ever seen. But the grid now, and well, this is it for me. I don't know if it's the same for you, but this is my last race in this game. Your last race as well. And so let's hope we get a very good one to send off the Esports Cup 2020 for one last time. Daniel on the left, Louis on the right, 5 laps to run. And we are away in Brazil. Very short run down to turn 1 today, and a long sweeping left-hander. You wouldn't expect too many moves, but we'll see what they do. Louis on the inside of turn 1, and you can see a lot of side-by-side action going on there. Jonathan up to P5, and he's inside another car. That means there'll be no accidents, thank goodness. But right to turn 3 we go. A lot of slipstream here for Louis. Is he going to go from here early on? You could argue that's essential for this type of race. He's not always been that good in the races this season, but he's not able to get ahead, and he's going to sit behind and wait.
There's Domi is off, one of the IGK drivers, losing 7 positions there on lap 1, and it's even more, 8 now, 9. He's no, still 8. Sorry, there's William there, but he went too deep apparently into turn 4. There's some more carnage. Hadler had to get out of the way of a car in front, had to avoid. There's a lot going on in the background. It's really hectic back there.
Yeah, they're still going for it. Look at the Red Bulls. They're both trying to make it grind up on those softs, but they're actually falling back a little bit. So they've got to make these softs work while they've got them in the early stages. They've got to be in the top 10 soon, or at least, well, 11th and 12th at the very least. Yeah, say that much. But yeah, we'll see how they get on, as I say. But it is Daniel that leads the race, already starting to build a gap to Louis. They're going to have 1 second at the end of lap 2. So that Louis doesn't get DRS on the run towards turn 4 and lap 3. And,
the DRS detection points here, as you can see, hopefully on the mini-map. I hope you have that
yes,
up, Owen. Oh, of course you do. Inside the ZS, really, just before the apex of turn 2, and then really in turn 13, the first of the 3 left-hand kinks on the long start finish. We can't really call it a straight, it's an acceleration zone. But inside turn 13, they're pretty much just after turn 13.
Oh, there's a car off
Those are the
there,
detection points.
Or at least was starting to slide wide. Didn't quite go off, actually. I was too busy looking at the 2 cars going side by side. Must have just picked up a bit of dirt. That is Domi and Hadler going side by side. And Domi trying to make some ground up. Obviously, IGK not having that good of a race this time compared to last time already. But
yeah, really, the only situation where that came into play was when Domi went wide into turn 4. Apart from that, I mean, Gil is having an okay race. He already gained a position off of Domi, who dropped back 7. But again, Domi really only dropped back because of that incident there in turn 4. And I don't know what exactly happened with him, but he certainly ran very wide, and DRS is now enabled, and Louis is close enough to get it right here down to turn 4.
So here he comes then, Louis. He's just going to use this to just stay behind him and stay in DRS and stay with his ERS nice and high. Although, honestly, it's extremely easy to save it even if you're not on a train. So you'd hope that would equal action, but it doesn't really. I think in the F3 race, it was the top 4. We were all just in a train the entire race. It takes a while, but once it does get going, it's good. And Roy's broke his front wing. Now, I think he was with Casper at turn 1. I wonder if they've had a bit of contact. I'll check Casper to see if he's got anything wrong. But certainly those two were very close at the start of the lap. And now one of them's got damage. Casper doesn't, but Roy does.
Yeah, he led by his teammate Truesdale there on the ascent to Ferradura to turn 6. And yeah, it looks very interesting. The question is whether he's going to pit early and try to go on to maybe the hards, but I'm not sure the hards are going to make it to the end of the race. I think every driver he comes in.
I think they will, but it's just
he could also
slow.
go for two. He could also go for two stints of softs if he so chooses. But either way, I mean, this is really not good for the Williams team here right now. P14 and P20 now being the first driver to pit.
I don't think he should go on hard. They are just way too slow. It's,
softs.
Softs,
it is.
I mean, it still doesn't really help him. I don't think we've had a single safety car the entire season. So, I mean, obviously, you know, Saul's law not, we'll get one. But certainly, from what we've seen so far, he's just going to have to hope and pray. But he probably won't get much out of it. But still, at least he's still in the race. He's still going to get a point, which could be crucial, maybe, for P3. You never know. Although CRG are certainly miles clear of them. But anyway, onwards and upwards, I guess. He can't go much further back from now, so we'll keep an eye on him, see what he does. But yeah, like I say, DRS is enabled, and the entire field except Frederick has it, and Danny, of course, and, well, Roy. But yeah, 17 out of 20, not bad. But that, of course, will mean we get no overtaking. And now Frederick should have it. Does he have it?
Yeah, he does.
Yes, he does. There we go. Good stuff. So, well, actually, bad stuff. We need these to start breaking up into some trains now. Because, well, I think someone's made a mistake there, actually. Jonathan maybe losing a bit of time there. He's still got DRS, but he's fallen out of DRS range now. I don't know quite what happened to him there, but that might well put him under quite a lot of pressure. And imagine if you have an opportunity at this point, when it's all so close, I'd take it, because this could be quite a long one if you're stuck in a train.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we talk about this every single time we commentate any race together on F1 2019, or probably on any F1 game really for that matter. The DRS trains really are an issue, and if you're in such a train where the guy in front has DRS and slipstream and you have DRS and slipstream, nothing ever moves, nothing ever changes apart from if a driver makes a mistake, which obviously we have this sort of skill level, that rarely ever happens. And we see it right here. Not much going on right now, but just wait for the pit stops and wait for these trains to be broken up in some capacity, as Jonathan still has DRS, but he's very low on ERS. We're talking barely over 10% at the end of the straight there. He was down to 6. So he's used up all of his ERS to try and stay with Blizzard, and he's still within that 1 second, but just by the skin of his teeth.
Yeah, I was watching Onyx there as well, and it looked so good for him to try and make a pass, but it just doesn't happen. It really just, it looks so annoying in that train, and yeah, Jonathan really has. He's blown this now, because he's used all that ERS to catch up, but now he's got nothing to use. Oh, once he's got there, and he's losing time, he's sliding, he's having a really tough time right now. This is not good news for BDG. Currently we're in second with Louis, but Jonathan, he's just going to keep this on the road right now, because this looks very, very sketchy indeed.
Yeah, I would expect Vouchers to mount a move either here on the start finish straight into the center S, or next lap at some point, either into turn 4 or, of course, into the center S then for lap 8. He's getting closer. He's too far away at this point. Or is he? Or is he? Yeah, he's still a little bit too far away. But into turn 4, the chance might offer itself here. Let's see, good run out of here. Yeah, pretty okay. I think maybe the straight is just a little bit too short.
Yeah,
however,
John's got no ERS. He's got nothing to defend with.
Here we go.
Sends
it to the inside. That's an easy move. That's about as easy as it can get.
Oh, there's been an accident for Onyx. Onyx has gone off. I think that's just a simple spin. Either that or he's been tagged, but no front wing damage. Oh my goodness, Marina really into him there. Almost a blind curve. Hopefully no one's going to hit him. I think he's got back up to speed now, but he's got to hope he doesn't have those tires overheated, because he could well go round again if he's not too careful there. But I don't know what happened to him there, but he's down to 15th. Nothing too major in the championship, that, because Liam's not running second, but certainly maybe a little bit of worry, a little bit of doubt now into the VSR mindset.
Yeah, right now VSR would score 16 points, which is one more than they need to make sure that they win, no matter what S2V do.
Oh, Louis right
close
on this. Can I just say, Louis is at the fastest lap. He's right on the back of Danny, and he's on 2 tenths in turn 1. Didn't go for a move, but certainly is showing some pace. I thought I was going to get a lot more dramatic there. Sorry, I saw 2 tenths and then think, oh, must go to it, but no. He's just stuck behind now, but that bodes well for an undercut, doesn't it? Or even an overcut if you can manage it, depending on the traffic, because he's clearly shown, I've got pace here, you do what you want, but the second pit stops arrive, I'm ready for it.
Yeah, generally in F1 the undercut is strong. I would be surprised if we do see an overcut at some point. The question really is, I mean, the pit window really opens around lap 12 at the very, very earliest for the soft runners. I would expect most of them to come in by lap 14, 15. The softs could go a bit longer, but that's really the point where, you know, you get the best balance between the tire wear from the softs and the mediums. And that's where we're nowhere close to lap 14 right now. We still have 6 more laps to go until we get there. as we just started lap 9. So still a bit of time for Louis to maybe make an overtake happen on track, as he is getting closer and closer. But yeah, he has an ERS advantage, meanwhile, of around 30%. 35 actually.
Well, this is it. You're sat in DRS, you can save this much. And crucially, what he's doing, he's now almost got a second. He now does have a second to Sparks, which means, again, he can just focus a lot more on Danny right now. That could spur him on for some moves now. Now he knows he hasn't got any danger behind him, though Sparks has caught it right back up. But the point is, he's on the fringes of falling outside. Surely this means he can focus a bit more on trying to figure out when to make this move.
Yeah, I don't think Louis focused that much on Sparks to begin with. I mean, the gap has always been around 8, 9, 10. Sparks has never been in a situation where he was in sort of striking distance. So Louis really, and Louis knows, obviously, as all these drivers do, about the whole DRS train issue, and knowing that he has DRS, he has slipstream off of Danny to defend, he knows that he doesn't have to worry much about Sparks and can just go on his merry way and try to take the lead off of Danny. So I don't think Louis ever looked back much in this race so far to begin with.
This is so frustrating watching Louis on board. He can really go for a move on any straight. You've no idea how much I'm looking forward to deleting this game. Because F1 2020, my god, it fixes every single issue I've got with this ERS. It's unbelievable. You've no idea. Man, just go for a move. Give us something to watch. We've seen nothing so far except for a spin.
Look, I'm with you, Owen. I would like to see some moves happening. But again, these drivers think tactically as well. And the more there, or the higher the chance that those two get away from the likes of Sparks, Jordan Polska, Blizzard behind, the higher the chance that they are the two fighting for the win, with no one else trying to interfere in that whole fight. And I think that's what we're seeing as Louis goes for a very early pit stop. That's an undercut from the top rope right there.
That's fine. The tires will get to the end from there. That's an easy.
I mean, obviously, but still, I did not expect anyone to come into the pits that early. As I said, I think pit window opens lap 12. This is incredibly early for Louis. As you said, the tires will make it to the end, that's for sure. But jeez, that is very surprising to me. And that might just get him the victory, honestly.
Since he's gone so early, he's going to have no traffic, is he? Because the whole field's been in DRS. He's going to have a good 5-second buffer here before he catches up to the back of
William. 3.5.
Well, 3.5. It's still enough.
Yeah, certainly.
So he's obviously saved a lot of ERS as well. He should be able to unleash it, which he has. And, well, Stanley's going to have to respond. But
pretty much.
That's already, though, hasn't he?
I think at S2V they're maybe panicking a little bit now. They're thinking, what do we do? Are we going to respond now? Are we going to keep him out? What's the strategy going to look like? I mean, I would say you have to pull him in either this lap or the next one.
Staying out.
And he stays out. Yeah, lap 12
pits,
then.
Jordan pits as well.
They respond, yeah.
Now this is interesting as well, because this is going to put them
Jonathan,
in a chance
Liam.
to undercut too. Liam,
yeah.
Wow. Jonathan sped in the pit lane. That could help
Marino
Liam
Onyx. Look, Liam coming in tells me that Danny's going to come in at the end of this lap, at the end of lap 12. I'm pretty sure that Danny will enter the pits as soon as this lap is done right here. Because otherwise, why would Liam come in right now?
Well, you're right there. I guess he's just covering himself because he's in the midfield maybe more. I think Danny, he's got a plan. He must have something to do there. But I do think he really does have to pit this lap, or else he's in trouble. Either that or he's foolishly waiting for a safety car or something. Surely at this point he must know I've lost this, so he's going to try something different. But there's nothing he can do.
I'm not so sure he did. See, the pit stop lost time from beginning of the pit lane to end is about 19.5 seconds. The gap from Danny to Louis is about 19.2 seconds. This is going to get really close at the pit exit, I tell you. Depending on how well he takes the entry, which to me it looked like he took very well, and how well he takes the exit, this is going to get really, really close there between Danny and Louis. I'm going to stay on board with Louis to see what is going on here. as Danny is still trying to get out of the pit lane. Now leaves the pit lane, is on the exit there.
There he is.
Oh, and Louis can see him. Louis can see him there for a split second. Who's going to be ahead? There's Danny. Danny's still ahead, but how much longer? Louis going to attempt it into turn 4 round the outside. He has to go, and it's not there. Tries to cut back, but Danny covers that off nicely, and Danny has remained in the net lead of the race.
And so what he's going to do now is make sure that he doesn't let Louis pounce on these fresher tyres, or, well, warmer tyres, I should say. There's still a chance on this lap, but the issue is now, well, we're into the DRS and into the traffic of all the one-stoppers who are not going to pit for a good 12 laps rather than pitting on the next lap. They are going to be waiting for a long time with these guys, and this adds a new element to the race. Maybe we're going to get some overtaking now as Blizzard gets off the softs.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Blizzard obviously now the last one of the soft runners to start the race, and here comes Danny trying to get a move on William. Remember, this is all for position. The drivers are allowed to battle if they so choose. It's not the smartest decision, but it's certainly a legitimate fight that they would be fighting. But Danny makes it past William here, definitely, and Louis would be next. But Louis has no slipstream, has to somehow try and get past, and he doesn't. Does he send it into turn 4? No, and he's stuck behind William. So Danny distancing net second there with one car in between.
That's a problem for him. That's a serious problem for him now, because we saw how easily Danny got by because he chose the right point. He was right there. Surely. Oh, has he hit Hadler there? Or did he just get very close, Danny? Hold on a minute. No, he didn't hit him. He just got very close. But well, he looks every corner like he's just pushing him around. And Louis got past. Oh, dear.
Yellow flag.
Oh, dear. Has he hit William? William's certainly gone round. This,
I think, yeah, William is round, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
Well, this is advantage STV.
He's not even...
This could be advantage STV because, 1, that puts Liam up 1. And 2, that could be Louis in a bit of trouble here. You've always just got to think about this, because if Louis gets in trouble for this and loses positions, then if BSR still have a bad day, as look at this, Hadler and Frederick fight, and Danny's getting in between on this. But I'm just saying that STV would be hoping that Louis did cause that, because that could be more points gained for them. They've got to still look at this as an outside chance, and Danny right now is the one executing this race perfectly, and it's now looking like Louis could be possibly starting to lose it a bit. We don't know if he actually hits or not. I could just be making it all up.
If he did, we might see the championship decided on the green table, which obviously you don't hope for, but it could very well happen. I mean, right now you look at VSR, you see Onyx down in P19, and you see Casper. Well, he is in P2. You know, that's good, but he hasn't made his pit stop yet, and he's going to drop down probably all the way down to. Oh, right now that would be at first about P15, but then obviously once the other medium runners pit, that's Truesdale, Dummy, Hadler, and Frederick, that would be about P10.
Well,
so it's getting really close there.
Of course, Casper will have supremely fast tyres at the end of the race.
True.
So he should actually be alright, actually, thinking about it. He's not on the back of Gill for the race lead. Which means he can pull away a little bit, because he still has about 10, well, maybe not quite 10, but certainly a number that's quite a large number still a lot to do on these tyres, so he's got to make sure he's going to handle it well.
And look at this, Frederick goes defensive into turn 4 here on Louis, but yeah, I think he braked a little bit earlier to make sure that Louis goes past and he doesn't lose himself too much time either. I don't think it was too much of going defensive there. And ultimately Louis makes it one car again in between himself and Danny.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be really Gill and Casper who'll take the big advantage. Obviously these two are they're almost, you know, expected to be at the front anyway, so certainly keep your eye on Gill and Casper, because they've got 7.5 seconds to Truesdale. And so you can always put these two in a separate group of these late stoppers, because they will actually pose quite a threat.
Yeah, I mean, right now, as it stands, they would rejoin after the pit stop, as there goes Louis on Hadler. That is P6, net P2 obviously still, but he clears one more bit of the traffic, and Danny got to move on Domi there as well. So again, it's still one car because they both made moves on the same straight. But yeah, they would right now rejoin behind Surface, which would put them at P14 and P15 respectively, Gil and Casper that is. But obviously with Truesdale, Domi, Hadler and Frederick still having to pit, that would obviously then go up the order again a little bit by 4 positions. And yeah, then they start their run through the field, and let's see how far they go.
Right, Louis now got no DRS as it stands, and well, if Sparks can find his way past Hadler soon, he could maybe try and pressure Louis a little bit. Maybe a bit flustered Louis, I don't know. But certainly he might well be in DRS soon, so CRG, they've got to take advantage at some point. They've got both their cars in this fight right now. Danny's gone, effectively. It's 1.5 seconds, but that's gone enough to be gone. And here comes Sparks on Hadler now.
Hadler also with DRS though, off of Louis. So it's going to be difficult but not impossible. Is Sparks going to try and send one? No. That's a little bit too far away for that, I think. And again...
Casper leading.
Yeah, again, Hadler too far away there. Or too close to Louis, that he also gets the DRS. Danny goes past Truesdale, so he's cleared. I would say at this point all the traffic, because I don't think Casper and Gil are going to be caught up by Danny. I think before that happens, they're both entering the pits for their one stop. So, you know, I think Danny at this point is done dealing with traffic, and Louis still has 2 cars to deal with, if not more. You know, with the guys behind, really, with Sparks and Blizzard, he's going to have to deal with those maybe later on in the race.
Yeah, so Louis now is almost into DRS of Domi. So that could sort of take away the chance Sergi had to take advantage, and he is now within a second. There's the DRS detection point. So he's got it now.
Barely.
Of course now Sparks is going to typically get past Hadler and lose the opportunity to gain ground, but there's still 2 more cars for Louis to pass to maybe gain ground on for Sparks, and then in turn Blizzard and the rest. Well, Jordan. And yeah, we'll see how this all goes. But Hadler certainly put up a lot. He's certainly decent enough pace on those tires to hold that up a little bit. And I mean, we saw it easily Danny got through all of it. That sort of shows just how good he is. And look at that, Sparks giving Blizzard some slipstream there on the straight. And Hadler
that's teamwork.
Mugged off there a little bit, but fair enough. That's good teamwork, as you say. But yeah, Danny really was showing there just why he's AOR champion, isn't he? F1.
Yeah, AOR PS4 F1 champion.
Absolutely was clinical with the overtaking there, and he's absolutely that could well have won in the race, because he's nearly 3 seconds clear of Louis.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Danny in the pro draft and in the F1 Esports at one point. Considering his pace, I mean, that's going to be the next step really for him, and I for one, I really hope we do see him there at some point, because there's nothing better than seeing some of the league race drivers make the jump to the big stage and be able to cheer them on.
Right then, Frederick's the first one to pit off the mediums. I mean, fair enough. We'll see how that works out for him. But I think that's a tad too early. I was sorry, no, William did as well. Didn't even see him. William did. So both the MNT boys have now. I don't think that's really starting much off for the rest of these guys. I don't think they're really paying much attention. But
see, I don't think it's too early. I think they can. I mean, the softs definitely can make it. There might be a little bit of
Louis, that is a bit dim-witted, isn't it? Let's not do that too much. You're trying to make sure you get up to the front, not bash your way through all the cars you're trying to overtake. He hit Dolby 2 or 3 times on the way up the hill there into turn 6. Not the wisest overtaking spot. Again, Danny, that's why you're F1 champion of AOR now. And Louis, that's why you're not. Clumsy.
Wow.
Clumsy.
Yeah, it's not exactly a move I would have attempted, but at the same time, I'm just watching it back right now because I didn't catch it at the time, and we don't have a replay feature, unfortunately. But the thing is, look, I do play a lot of different racing games. On Gran Turismo Sport, I would have attempted that overtake. On F1 2019, not so much. The cars are quicker, a little bit, more fragile. And yeah, would not have been my spot of choice. But, you know, in the end, it all worked out. But yeah, I wouldn't try that. Maybe if you want to try it into the right-hander right after, sure, if you can muster up a little bit of a surprise move here. But even then, most of the time, probably not. So yeah, I'm also really the overtaking spots here. Center S into turn 1 and a turn 4.
Okay, sit rep. Casper's about 11 seconds off Danny now. He's already making moves up the field, up into P13. And he's got three more ahead of him. He's got to try and get by in somewhat quick succession. One of them being SUV Liam. That's not going to be a happy sight for him, but I think he'll find he's got nothing to defend with. These softs should be absolutely rapid in these next few laps. And
here come Gil and Truesdale.
Yeah, they'll be long behind. Well, Gil will be long behind, but Truesdale certainly will be. Casper not going to get by Liam, I don't think, into turn 1 here, but he's going to make this work quickly. There's BG Jonathan as well, and Walters. Walters obviously the head of his DRS train, and going to have no DRS. Where is Gil going to be? He's going to be side by side with Service.
Here comes
Casper on the inside of S2V. Liam, that could well be pretty much job done for the championship if he gets through there, and that really that really well should be job done now in the championship.
Yeah, it is.
He's beating one of them. Unless it all goes horribly wrong now, he's already into P10.
Yeah, never say never. Never say never.
But it does look pretty good now. He's now trying to get himself by Jonathan. Give him a little glove tap on the way. That's how much grip he's got in the middle sector. Just imagine how good he'll be once he gets by Walters. Oh, he's hit him again. Let's not break the front wing now, Casper. Let's just get through these guys.
No damage.
Get through these guys first, and then have a bit of fun with your extraordinary get, because this could seriously put him in contention for something, at least a podium at this rate, with this pace. Here he comes on Jonathan. Jonathan losing a bit of time now to Walters, actually, but still, Casper should get by. Maybe we'll get by Walters on this lap. But surely he's got to go for it into turn 4. Oh no, he's going to turn the ER.
He goes into turn 1 here. He knows he has the better grip, so he's got to make the moves as quickly as he can, and he did that right there.
He's got Jonathan all over him, though. He's going to have them both have DRS. This could be interesting now. I wonder if he should have waited till turn 4. They're hitting a lot of contact. Well, how is that not gone wrong? I have no idea. But Casper is up into P7 now.
Good car control from both, but yeah, a lot of wheel banging there. Now Gil and Jonathan side by side, yeah, and another little bit of a love tap there to the rear of Jonathan, but it all stays the same.
It's like a punching bag.
Now, I mean, yeah, it happens sometimes, I guess, but yeah, that's the different strategy right now. I mean, you have these two soft runners who are just trying to get past as quickly as possible. And, you know, you have all these medium runners who are really just sitting ducks at this point. We're going to see it with Casper and Wouters and with Gil and Jonathan here.
Let's just head of Sparks, by the way. The COG boys have swapped positions.
Yeah, here goes Casper, and here goes Gil around the outside. It's not going to be as easy for him as it was for Casper. They do touch again, I think, but Gil gets it on the run for turn 2 and gets the move done there.
Right, true.
But he has to defend.
Right, we'll talk about this first then. Alright, Jonathan, will he go for this again? He's on the outside. That could be quite difficult on those tires. And again, he's ghosting.
Oh, shoved wide there. Gil did not leave him any space whatsoever.
Look at Liam outside. We've seen how many times this move's gone wrong. That's every time. And it's gone wrong again. No way through there. But I was just going to say there before I had him there. A true steel fast lap. That tells you just how much Casper was holding back, and Gil as well, having to make overtakes, because they're doing... They should be... no offence to True Steel, but these two should be faster now. We saw that in the earlier stage. 10.4 seconds to the lead, 7 seconds to second place. That's what Casper's going to be aiming for, I think, that second place. We'll see if Danny gets any penalties at any point. But certainly, gotta keep the eye on Casper, because he will be flying.
Yeah, I'm gonna check quickly what his lap time says here now. Yep, there it is. 1 minute 9.8. Let's compare that to Danny in the lead. 110.5. We're talking 7/10 of a second here.
Christ, what was that, Liam? I'm surprised he hasn't got a penalty for that. He just didn't even bother with turn 2. Might have been a mistake, but he still didn't bother with it, and he's got nothing for it. Lucky boy.
Yeah, so 7/10 of a second. At this point, I think we can safely say that Casper's not going to catch Danny.
Sorry, I gotta interrupt. This is madness for P12. All four of these guys, they were practically on top of it, they're still on top of each other. I just saw a massive cluster of 4 cars on the back straight. I thought that could end badly, and it nearly did. Onyx in there, keeping BSR.
Oh, here
nice
goes Jogler. Jogler sends one to the inside, and wow.
Oh my goodness.
Does he keep the position? Yes, he does. Wow. Onyx absolutely getting mugged off there. My goodness. That's what I was mentioning earlier. You know, into that corner, you know, if you feel like it, you might just chuck one up the inside. It's certainly a corner that lends itself to it, because you usually do take a wider entry, and if you can just chuck it up there, well, you have the shorter run, and that usually helps you. But here goes Onyx, and Jogler no chance really to defend against that with no ERS almost. He's down to 15% after breaking into turn 1. He was on 6% before that, so yeah, really doesn't help if you don't have any ERS, and again, he doesn't have much. It's down to 5% now, and still tries it around the outside. Wow! But he gets shoved wide by Onyx there. And stays in P14. Dummy around the outside, tried to hold it there. Wow. I mean, that's... If you want to win that corner, you have to check it up the inside, and that just wasn't possible for Dummy. He tries it again here, maybe. Yep, this time around the outside.
What's he doing?
And again, doesn't work.
That's not gonna work. Let's be sensible with this, Dummy. Just be patient. If for the sensible zones. I think we've learned this from a few times already.
It looked for a split second like he was contemplating sending one into Jungsao, but he decided not to. And this time around, maybe with the ERS, it's the train again. Domi, he's close enough to try it, to break a little bit later, but no. Slight lock up there. He is alongside for a bit, but not long enough. Doesn't get a good run out of turn 2, turn 3 either, so... Marino goes slightly defensive, but he knows he doesn't have to go all too defensively, and misses the apex, though. That opens it up for Domi, and he says, thank you very much for this little door that you left open for me. Slips through, takes P15.
I think Domi tried to dummy him, ended up just getting his braking run there. Yeah, that wasn't maybe the best defensive job in the world, but yeah, Domi... Again, proving that it isn't as easy as it looks to get through these traffic cars. Again, shows how good Danny and to an extent Casper and Gil were getting by. Speaking of which, Casper nearly into the arms of Jordan, who's only 2 seconds away from Sparks, Blizzard and Louis, which shows just how far Casper's come already. He's only 8.4 off the lead now, with how many laps is that? What, 9?
9. Yeah.
So maybe not going to win the race unless penalties happen, but I still think P2 is very much there.
Yeah, P2 certainly on the cards here, and Danny doesn't have a single warning, by the way. He's kept it absolutely sparkly clean. Not one warning. That's the quality of the AOR PS5 1 champion, I would say, of a driver like Danny. But yeah, for Jordan Polska, really, I think there's not much he can fight for. Just, you know, I would say if I was in charge of VRT, I'd tell him, look, just let him by. Lose as little time as possible. Just don't bother. And try to keep a distance to Wouters and Liam Parnell and Jonathan and Surface, and try to bring home what would then be a 7th place once Casper and Gil are passed.
Right then, will he get by into turn 1? No, he's nowhere near him, but he might well be trying to set up a turn 4, Casper. Should have to grip through the first chicane to get it nice and close for you to run through turn 3, and then we'll be past him in turn 4. And you can see just how much extra grip he has as Jordan. Well, he's not maybe listening to the advice we've given him, or you've given him, because he's now got a penalty. A bit pointless, that, wasn't it?
And here goes Casper. And yeah, he doesn't fight it. You see, he did not try to defend, and at least he listened to that advice. I don't know if he actually listened, but you know, he followed that advice. So at least, you know, he didn't fight on track. But yeah, the penalty that might hurt him a little bit. However, he is 4.8 seconds ahead of Wouters, so there's still a bit of time there he doesn't have to worry too much about it. Now 5 seconds actually, so a 3-second time penalty doesn't hurt him all too much, and I don't think he's gonna defend against Gil either. It's gonna probably be into turn 4 again, because right now Jordan is or Gil is too far away from Jordan, and Jordan does get DRS still, so Gil is not really gaining much.
That's going to delay him a lot, that. Or
Yeah,
for another
probably
lap or
next
two.
lap actually.
Yeah, he's nowhere near on this lap, even with any extra grip through turn 1 and 2. I mean, look how far ahead he is in turn 3, and then he'll get a second dose of DRS on this lap, which will put Gil further behind, actually. Even though he's got his, you can see the gap going up there to nearly a second. Really struggling there, thanks to Casper, who, well, his pace actually has sort of stalled at 2.5 seconds now. Come on, keep this moving. I want to see you fighting for second place. He is looking quite a lot more slidey up the hill now. Only 9 laps old, the tyres. He should still have a bit more than that, I hope.
Yeah, his lap times have dropped slightly, very slightly, from 109.7s, 109.8s. His last 2 laps, 110.0 and 109.9. So a tenth or two here and there. It's not much, again, only a slight drop, but it is noticeable over the last 2 laps. And maybe he's struggling with tyre temperatures a little bit. That would be one assumption that, you know, I could make, but maybe he's just overdriving the car a little bit. Let's see, the last lap for Casper, 109.9 again. So another 10th lost somewhere. I don't know. It seems like he loses it in the middle sector, so that to me would be an indication that it's a sort of grip issue. That he's no longer doing the 35.7, 35.8s in the middle sector, and he's dropping to 35.9s, 36.0s, because that's obviously the downfall sector here, the middle one. Starts just before turn 4 and ends just before Jung Sao, so it's got most of the, what I like to call the infield in it, or all of the infield, and then a little bit more actually.
Right, so we've now got just 6 laps to go in the season. CRG's reign as Esports champions look like it's gonna be, well, not very long, is it? 6 laps, well, now 5 laps left. Not very long for them to reign supreme, but still they'll enjoy it. They are beating.
Here comes Gil.
They're beating the VSR boys. They'll take it. Here comes Gil.
Easily. Look at this. Yeah, Jordan again wasn't fighting it. I think correct call. But yeah, just let him by. Try to get some DRS off of him, which you see here Jordan does. I mean, he played this really perfectly for the most part. He's down on ERS. You can see it also 6% there. He was trying to stay with Casper for as long as possible, which makes sense, because the more you get the DRS, obviously, the more time you gain. And that was very, very smart by Jordan. He's increased the gap to Wouters now to over 6 seconds. Remember, last time we talked about it was just under 5. So he's gained a second by depleting his ERS, using the DRS, and trying to stay with the 2 soft runners up ahead.
So now, like I say, we're 5, nearly now 4 laps to go. Not only will CRG's reign at the top end, but we'll actually get maybe a bit of fighting for P2 now, because surely the CRG boys have got to notice Casper nearly into his DRS. They might well get it into turn 4 on this lap. We'll wait and see. He's 1.1, 1.2. He's just not got any system here, so he won't quite get it on this lap. It'll surely close up for the next lap to start using some of that DRS, and that might well spur on Blizzard, who's already pretty close anyway. He's also got not much ERS to use, which maybe means he shouldn't go for it right now, but he will go for it. Down the inside into turn 4, it is P2, but they're side by side making a bit of contact, wheel binding on the exit. Louis tried for all his might to stay ahead, but now he can save that ERS a little bit. In fact, they've both got none. In fact, every single one of these 4 have got none. They've got practically no ERS. It is now going to be 2020 mode engage, because you can't, you know, I'm very happy now. This is a slight simulation of 2020.
Yeah, the last 4 laps, and honestly, I wouldn't want a different send-off. I love this, that we effectively we effectively get a first view of F1 2020, sort of, where no one has ERS, or no one can really control the ERS much, or at least it doesn't matter much, and everyone's going to have to fight on track for this. So that's fantastic. For the last 3 laps now, it's gone by in a whirlwind, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, it's been a race that it's taken a while to build up, but now we've got a pretty good finale. And very much going to be interested in seeing how this one ends. I wonder if Gil still has anything in the tank as well. If it starts getting interesting, he's also got practically no ERS. Of course, it won't quite get as big a boost as you do in iPhone 2020 when you use your ERS, but still stuff. It's like a half simulation. It's close as hell anyway, so I wouldn't complain. This is going to be very interesting because we're going to start seeing some moves here.
Yeah, and at this point, the tyre advantage, you got to remember, Casper on the softs has been there for 13 and a half laps now. Sparks 22 and a half laps on the mediums.
Gills and DRS, by the way.
Yeah, at this point the tire advantage is pretty much not there anymore, because obviously the softs do wear out quicker than the mediums. There's no secret there. And so really everything now,
he's gonna fly by. He's gonna be ahead before the start finish line. It's incredible.
Yep.
And Sparks is going to be right on this as well. He's flying as well. Will Blizzard see him coming? He will indeed, and that will surely mean Casper had the best speed of all of them. As he's going around the outside, look! Oh, Sparks into turn 2, into turn 3. He might well have passed off track there. He has to lift off a little bit there. But he's now starting to get interested. Like Gill's right on this. Just 2 to go. This is going to get very feisty very soon. Louis now has got a little bit less ERS and he's using it. He's not even seeing it, he's using that ERS. He's pulling away as much as he can. That's not too wise, Louis. You've got to start saving it. You're going to need it.
Yeah, Louis might just fall victim of what we saw last lap, where he got past, where he did pass Blizzard before the start finish line. Might be this time around that Blizzard is going to get a good run on him. We'll see about that. He is losing a bit of time here through the middle sectors. Jogler retires, so that's a 0 for at least one ECDF1 driver. The other, Marino, is currently in 17th, so that would be 4 points. But obviously, we're going to focus more on this right here, this fight for second place. I'm going to quickly check the penalties, because that might also play into it. Louis has none. Blizzard,
yes,
none.
Look, here
Sparks.
comes Casper. I've got to enjoy it because Casper's going to be right on this in a second right now. We can check penalties when they cross the line. I'm pretty sure they're not going to have too much to worry about.
None of them.
It's going to be more
on track.
Blizzard and Louis 5% because they pulled away quite well from Casper and Sparks, etc. Is Blizzard going to go for it, or will he try it on the line? It's going to be on the line. Same really with the rest of them. They're going to be waiting this one out. But look at this. There's contact in Casper and CRG Sparks. They're pushing each other along here. And we also got to keep our eye out, of course, for Casper. When he crosses the line in P5, or wherever he'll end up, that will be VSR champion. So we've got to remember that one as well. Danny will win the race. Can we just announce that now? You've won the race. We'll see you later on. Because we've got to keep our eyes on this. I'm not going to watch him crossing the line because this will all literally be across the line stuff. So well done to Danny. You've won the race. You've won nothing else, but you've won this one at least. You're
here comes Blizzard
in the championship. But here comes Blizzard up the hill onLouis. As there goes Danny across the line. He's won it. Will Blizzard have a good
too
enough
far
run?
away. Louis got it.
Oh well, do you know what? He might. No, not quite. Oh, my goodness,
incredibly close.
A 10th. They all waited too long. That's a bit of a damn squid, that was, isn't it? I'm bitterly disappointed.
My goodness.
Anyway, sorry. VSR are champions. They've taken it off CRG, and congratulations to them. But you could have at least had something to do at the end there, Cass. But come on, I was expecting you to be finishing second. We had over 100 viewers for that. Nothing happened. Can we do another lap? It's too late.
I wish. This was good. I would love to see another lap or two, but fortunately the distance is fixed to 36 laps, and not much we can do about that as we just wait for William to cross the line in P19, and there he goes. So, congratulations to VSR for winning the 2020 PSGL Esports Cup.
Yes. Worthy winners, has to be said. Apart from that one win that they sort of stole off S2V in China because they had paid stewards to make it happen. But still, it wouldn't have changed the overall result, would it, in the end? They were the best all season, weren't they, really? Because they had consistency with both drivers, most races, while S2V always had the other driver not really being up there, and that was the big difference, really, wasn't it? We were saying it. We always saw Vaster Racer or Onyx or The other one. Forget the other one. Faster Racer, wasn't it? Or did I already say?
Yeah.
Christ, who's their fourth driver? Their fourth driver was also always up there. They were always able to make it work. And that's just won it for them. So well done to them. And good recovery from Casper, actually, from 13th to 5th. Like I say, that medium to soft strategy was pretty OP, as we saw there. And, well, we'll run through the order then. Danny from Louis, Blizzard Sparks, Casper Gill, Jordan Waters, Surface Truesdale, Liam Dummy, Jonathan Onyx, Frederick Hadler, Marino, Roy, William, and Joglar. And Connor, just going to say, maybe try and keep some of these guys on for season 26 of F1, because I very much would like to commentate on lots of these guys again.
Understandable. I'm quickly running through the final standings, barring any post-race penalties. Obviously, we've talked about it. There's not much changing here. There is, however, a change in the midfield. BDG, that is amazing. Before this race, who got the fastest lap? Let's quickly find that. It was outside the top 10, wasn't it? Yeah, Domi has a faster lap than... Yeah, Domi. It was Domi. So no point there for P12 then. No extra point. So, yeah, BDG, with Louis' second place, have actually jumped both IGK and Williams. IGK, in fact, stay where they are in P5. It's BDG and Williams swapping positions. Williams in the last race with Roy being 18th and Truze being 10th, dropping from P4 to P6. The gap between those three teams, 6 points.
Well, at least you got a close finish somewhere, huh? Never where you wanted, but still, fair enough. That was good from BDG. Good to see them up there. I'm sure, again, Connor will be loving it. But that is it then. That is the end of the 6-week, but actually 7-week long Esports Cup 2020. It's been an absolute pleasure. These have been, like I say, the best drivers. They are the best drivers in the world. Better than the Esports drivers. We've proven it. And honestly, it's been fantastic racing.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I saw the whole budget speedster thing in the chat, but you know, I hope that maybe after these 6 races, maybe I'm not so budget anymore.
Well,
but it was great fun, man. This is the best of the best right here. I mean, this is one way to send off F1 2019, the game cycle, and you know, hope for 2020 to be just as good, if not better.
And well, this is the end for me and Austin and this great, well, most of them anyway, on F1 2019, but there is still one more race for PSGL. That'll be tomorrow, the FP Challenge Cup finale. Be sure to watch that one. I'm sure it'll be good. No idea who the commentators are actually, but I'm sure it'll be good for you, so please do watch them. It'll be the last race on the PSGL channel. And then keep your eyes on the PSGL F1 Twitter on the 1st of July. That'll be, what, Wednesday? Because we're going to see all the Season 26 information. All of the sign-ups will be opening up, and we'll be fully into F1 2020 mode for the game that gets released next Tuesday. Can't wait. Well, that's if you bought the Schumacher edition like a normal person, or if you're buying the regular version like a peasant, that'll be Friday. Next Friday.
Wow.
But yeah, next week F1 2020. This weekend F1 and IndyCar. It's all back. F2, F3, everything. Oh my goodness, it's back to normal again. Second league racing entity, they've waited for us.
They really did, yeah. But in case you don't know, the PSGL Twitter account, it's at PlayStation_GL.
Yes. Right then, I think we'll leave you now. We'll let you enjoy your Monday night. Can you enjoy Monday nights? I hate Mondays, but Connor might not like me for saying that. I don't think we'll have Odin's back, by the way, next season of the commentary box for F1, if anyone's wondering. I might end up going solo for that one. I have no idea what Connor's plans are for me there. But whatever we end up doing, I think Odin's will be back on the grid. So if I end up being biased again, then sorry. But anyway, I'll see you for F1. I'll definitely be back for that. Don't you worry about that. Or maybe you do worry about that. You might not like me, but tough. I'm staying forever. Because I'm not quick enough to drive an F1. I'm not going to turn all the sets off. So I'll see you then, whenever that will be. You'll find out on Wednesday, I guess. Austin, I don't know when we'll ever see you again on this channel, but if we do, it'd be nice. But
yeah, I'd be down.
But yeah, thanks for joining me for this, though. I've been very much enjoying it. Obviously, we've commented on pretty much everything we can at this point on this game. And yeah, if I work with you again on the next game, it'd be very nice indeed. But we'll end it now. Cheers for watching, everyone. And thanks, actually, for the most popular season of anything we've ever had anywhere. It means a lot. I'm sure Connor, again, is rolling in the non-existent money because we don't get any monetization because YouTube don't like us. But, yeah, subscribe and you can make the difference. If we get to 1,000, we get monetization, I get paid, and I don't have to be homeless. So, cheers for watching. We'll see you in Season 26. Find out what that's all going to be about on Wednesday.